The Peter Pan syndrome refers to adults who resist growing up and prefer to avoid responsibilities like work, relationships, and personal accountability. They prefer to stay in a childlike mindset, focusing on fun and avoiding the challenges of adulthood. Brennan and Dale are two 40-year-old men who are a titular example of this kind of syndrome.
This house is a fucking prison! I'm playing bullshit!
During a conference, Dr. Robert Dobak falls in love with a woman who was present in the audience. Fortunately, this woman also took an interest in the doctor and the two got intimate. During this session, they realized how similar their lives were. Both of them were ambitious members of society with a 40-year-old son who still lives with them. This shared mutual disappointment was the glue to their new relationship. Brennan, son to Nancy, and Dale, son to Robert, are the main focus of this story. Whilst their parents were among the top 1% of society, Brennan and Dale were two losers with no job, no aspiration, low-level education, no ambition, just straight-up leeches. Dale is the only child of his dad, and he dropped out of college to just vibe and live his dream of delusion. It's safe to say that he was overly pampered by Robert. One of the most prominent reasons single parents tend to pamper their child is the desire to compensate for the absence of a second parent. Single parents may go out of their way to provide extra comfort or make life easier for their child, unintentionally leading to pampering, just like in the case of Dale Dobak. Brennan is actually the worst of the pair. He spends his time eating junk food and watching X-rated movies. After getting fired from his job, he decided to just give up and leech off his mom.
I wasn't fired from my job, I was laid off.
His only redeeming quality is his incredible talent for singing. Unlike Dale, Brennan has a younger sibling, Derek, who is the direct opposite of everything Brennan is. Derek works as a real estate agent, married with two beautiful kids, and a perfect description of what a successful individual ought to be. Due to this, Derek and his brother's relationship is very toxic, as the younger belittles and bullies the older every chance he gets. In families where comparisons are made between siblings, the older sibling might feel overshadowed or inadequate when their younger sibling achieves significant success, whether academically or socially. After Nancy moved in with Robert, Brennan and Dale meet each other for the very first time. The energy between the two men was very hostile. No pleasantries, no smile, just intimidation and suppressed rage.
Why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer.
But this energy is quite expected because Brennan probably sees Dale as another sibling who will abuse him just like the way his younger brother does, and Dale sees Brennan as a reflection of himself, just another man-child who is going to leech off his dad. The height of their mutual hatred arises when Brennan decided to invade Dale's studio, knowing fully well that his stepbrother would not like this. After a short while, Dale comes home and takes notice of his drum sets. This gets him mad as he confronts his stepbrother. Brennan goes on to deny the allegation with his full chest. The two men get into a verbal argument which shortly turned into a physical brawl. Blending families can be very tough. Children might feel overwhelmed by the new dynamics, leading to frustration with their step-siblings. Brennan and Dale are obviously two people with the same negative traits. Seeing someone else display the same negative behaviors we possess can serve as a mirror that compels us to confront aspects of ourselves that we dislike or want to change. This amplification can increase our negative reaction, just like in the case of Brennan and Dale, making us more critical of the person that we would be of ourselves. Derek, with his wife and kids, decided to pay their new family a visit after not being able to attend the wedding. Derek, as usual, went on to verbally belittle his elder brother, but this time around, he ends up getting punched in the face by Dale. On the outside, Derek is a man many aspire to be: handsome, rich, successful, and well connected. But internally, he's an emotional abuser and a scum. He doesn't see any value in his wife, gives her little attention as possible, and suppresses her happiness in the marriage. After Dale punched him in the face, his wife instantly fell in love with his abuser, the man who physically assaulted her husband. How crazy is that shit?
I hate my life, Dale.
Could you imagine how authoritarian you have to be to your wife for her to physically get attracted to the first man who assaults you? This is very concerning.
I love you. Stay golden, pony boy.
After the mighty punch, the dynamics between the two men began to change, and soon enough, they became the best of friends.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yup!
With this newfound alliance, they planned out their first mission, fail all their assigned job interviews on purpose.
We're here to fuck shit up.
A job requires an individual to meet expectations and take responsibility for their actions. But because Brennan and Dale have the Peter Pan syndrome, they know having a job will force them into maturity and accountability. Staying unemployed allows them to continue living in a more carefree or stress-free way. The two men finally decided to go their own route and form an international entertainment company and call it Prestige Worldwide. But on their way back home, they get bullied by some kids on the playground. This scene is to symbolically show how their childhood phase is still in control of their thoughts and actions, regardless of them being old enough to defend themselves. They are literally children getting bullied by other children.
Oh,
It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
Brennan and Dale finally shot a music video under their new entertainment company. They decided to use their dad's retirement boat to shoot this music video. Robert got to witness in real time his $80,000 dream boat get crashed into bits, and this was even added officially to the music video. It was there, like they didn't cut it. It's there in the music video for you to see that yes, they are crashing and wrecking the boat. Robert's only dream is to retire and sail around the world on his boat with his woman by his side. He no longer wanted to deal with the boys in their shenanigans anymore.
And unsupportive of our dreams.
Wrecked my fucking boat, you goon!
During a dinner night, Robert finally announced to the family that Nancy and him will no longer be married anymore. We all know the culprits behind the downfall of this union.
Please don't cry like that. Please.
The wrecking of his dream boat was the final straw that broke the camel's back.
I'm going to throw up. I think I'm gonna throw
Don't throw up.
Nancy, on the other hand, was too lenient on the boys. Instead of addressing the white elephants and treating them as adults, she prefers to side with the boys and lean towards a persuasive style of parenting. While persuasion can be an effective tool in moderation, over-reliance on this style of parenting may undermine essential skills like decision-making, emotional regulation, and independence, setting the child up for difficulties as they grow older. The house was put up for sale, and the two parents went their separate ways, leaving Brennan and Dale to their own predicaments. They started blaming each other instead of owning up to their actions.
You don't take responsibility for your actions, and that's why this is all your fault.
They were fed up of each other and decided to go their separate ways.
We're no longer brothers.
We were stepbrothers.
With the absence of their enabling parents, Brennan started taking his therapy sessions serious, went to his younger brother for a job, and actually made an effort to turn his life around. Dale also went on a job hunt, dedicated his time to taking up the responsibilities assigned to him. Brennan finally showed how mature he was when he decided to host a wine mixer event, which was a pretty big deal in his brother's corporation.
Thanks for hiring our catering company.
Easy decision. You guys have an outstanding track record.
Brennan and Dale ended up performing to the guests under the event. Prestige Worldwide was in full swing, but the real character arc was when they confronted their biggest fear: the kids on the neighborhood playground. The men arrived in style to take on their bullies. They showed the kids that they can't be intimidated anymore. Symbolically, this represents their journey from being passive and powerless to active and assertive. This moment serves as a turning point, after which they begin taking steps towards personal growth.
Shawty say she no go up before the bros. My bros know the play.